So many people are starting podcasts today, but did you know that you can be the person in the back of the scenes producing these podcasts and making from $5,000 to $10,000 a month? So with these three basics here, which is audio, video, and lighting, you'll be able to take any voice, elevate it, and be the producer that's running things and hitting all the buttons behind the scenes. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can be the producer in the back of the scenes, understanding all of the equipment, understanding the technology, and how easy it is. You can now start producing podcasts and make a profitable side income or a full-time income. If you're ready for those information to understand everything from audio, video, and lighting, let's dive into this video and I'm going to blow your mind. Let's do it. With any podcast, the first thing that's important here is going to be audio. Without the audio, nobody can hear you, right? And nowadays, of course, we're going to be doing video podcasts because you can throw it on platforms like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Right now, I'm wearing a lavalier mic, which is hooked up over here. It might look crazy because I'm holding this short microphone. I'll tell you about the short microphone in a little bit. But most cases, for me, if I'm recording, I got me a lavalier mic. So you're able to hear me, right? And the other thing now, if you have an artist or a guest or a host, you need to have them heard. So I would recommend this Shure SM7B microphone. This microphone here, you see it everywhere, right? Joe Rogan use it. Some of the top podcasters are using it because this microphone has a great audio, great sound. Plus it looks slick and good on video. This microphone right here runs about $400. It's a great startup microphone, but if you're going to start this thing here, be a producer, good audio is going to be important, right? So I recommend this microphone here to start. That's the audio part. You don't have to start with this expensive one. You can also start with this microphone. This microphone here, it is the Rode Pi mic. This Rode Pi mic runs you maybe about $100 now, like 99 bucks on Amazon or something. But instead of running with this, you can run with this. And based on your budget, you might have to go with the $99 one, or you go with the $400 one. Either way, you're going to need a microphone. That is the breakdown now of your audio. That's exactly what you need, a microphone. Doesn't matter which one you get, just get you a microphone, get that set up. So the next part of your podcast now is going to be video, right? How are people going to see you? Because nowadays, you can't just do the audio. You got to do the video so that you're covering every platform and reaching more people, growing your network. All right. So with video now, you're going to need a camera. I just happen to be using the Sony A7 III right now, which is recording this video. You can see it. You see everything right here. You see the back of the scene. You can blur it out. You can separate yourself from the background. Everything with this camera is nice. But the key thing to remember with your podcast, you want to get a camera that has a clean HDMI out. There's no information on the screen when you're recording, right? So you want to make sure your camera has a clean HDMI out. The camera now is going to plug into another device. I will walk you into the whole setup on how this stuff connects at the end of this video. So you want to stay close to it. Don't leave. Stay to the end of this video. I'll walk you through exactly everything that you see going on in the back of my screen right here, all right? So after you take your video, your HDMI out is going to have to go plugged into a switcher. And this switcher is going to change the game for you. What this switcher does, it takes all of your videos. This is the A10 Mini or the A10 ISO. Either way, A10 Extreme. There's a bunch of them, right? It depends what your budget is. You want to grab you an A10. A10 allows you to switch between different cameras. So if you're using a 2-camera setup, for most podcasts, you got 2 people, you're going to need a 2-camera setup. You might use a 3-camera setup, but in most cases, you're using either 1 or 2 camera setups. And those cameras now are plugged into the back of the A10 Mini because those takes HDMI cords. You can take 4 HDMI inputs into this A10 Mini right here. So now, once you plug those in, you'll be able to see on the screen. And again, I got everything set up on my screen here. I'll walk you into that. So what you want to do, you plug all those in. So now it makes your editing easy. With the A10, you don't have to worry about coming back and editing and none of that because you're editing on the fly. When this person is talking, you switch to that. If that person is talking, you switch to that, right? If you want to see the whole scene, you switch to that camera. If you want to bring something else in, like a computer or a slide deck, you switch to this. You know, everything is plugged in the back of your A10. All you have to do now, you as the producer, you're just sitting there selecting what angle you want to show the viewer. We talked about audio. We talked about video. The next thing is going to be lighting. Let's talk about lighting. With lighting now, you're going to need minimum like a 2 lighting setup, right? A key light. Key light is basically like that main light that's going to be focusing on that guest or that host. Okay. Then you have another light on like the other side where it's like capturing maybe like off a little bit just to show some light on. I mean, it depends how many people you have in the scenes, right? But no matter what, you're going to need a key light. You're going to need a fill light. And then you're going to need some backlighting. Like you can see there's a backlighting there. I got some blue light. Those are called accent lights. So those accent lights just add a little bit of, color to the scene. So like everything comes together, makes my video look good, because quality is another big part of video. Just making sure I don't lose the microphone again, because we're talking about audio, but then my battery went off on the thing. That's no good if I'm telling you about audio, right? So we got videos, you got audio, you got video, you got lighting, and then you got these accent lighting. All these color lights you see here, those are all accent lighting. It just adds on to the scene, makes it a little bit, pleasing to the eyeball, so that you're not just looking at one type of color, right? You want to make sure you find a mix. Sometimes the color has something to do with your branding, but what I'm using for these color lighting is just another Amazon light here. It's like the GVM, right? Those are bi-color lights. There's an app you can switch and everything there. All of those things there, I'm going to give you a close-up to that and show you exactly how everything is being set up over here. All right, so that's audio, that's video, and that's lighting. So after you have audio, video, and lighting now, you need to understand where you're going to host the podcast. So when it comes to hosting your podcast, there's a platform that I've used and recommend to people that I've helped produce their podcast, and it's called Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is I think it's about $12 a month. With Buzzsprout, what happens there? Buzzsprout is a host platform, right? So you're gonna already have your account with Apple. You're gonna have your account with iTunes. That's Apple too, but with Spotify, Amazon, you're gonna create your account. Now you're gonna go into Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is going to be your distributor. You don't have to, every time you release an episode, you release it onto Buzzsprout, and Buzzsprout is going to, browse them joins out. Buzzsprout is going to do all the connections, it's going to distribute it to Apple, it's going to distribute it to Spotify, it's going to distribute it to YouTube Music, whatever you have set up for your listeners to listen to it on. That's where the podcast hosts come from. There's other ones I've heard of, like Red Circle. There's different ones there. Just search it. You're going to need a host. That's like the minimum, right? You're going to need the audio. You're going to need video. You're going to need lighting. You're going to need a host platform. And of course, you're going to need a good message, right? For that, I'm just the producer. I'm teaching you this on the producer side of things. But whatever it is, I'm sure there's a voice. That's why they're asking you to produce their podcast. I want to move you over to my desk over here now so you can see how everything comes together, so you know exactly what equipment goes where. Super quick, right? I want to walk you through how to set up your station to produce any podcast and any live show. And all of this you can see happening right there on that screen. So if you find value to this video, go ahead and make sure you smash the like button one time. Subscribe if you haven't. Let me know in the comments, man, what are some key things that you discover in this video that you didn't know about before? Or what would you be doing with this information? Let me know that in the comments. So right now, I want to walk you through what's on the desk when you are producing a live podcast, a live show. What are some of the tech that it takes to really put a show together, right? Because like I told you, every podcast has to have a person behind the scenes. So what is that person looking at? What is that person touching? What is everything that's involved with producing a high quality podcast? So let's jump right into it. First thing here, we're going to start with audio. Without a good source of audio, you can't do a good podcast, right? So you as the producer now, you need to understand what are different types of microphones that you can suggest to your client. This microphone right here happens to be the Shure SM7B. This is the microphone that most podcasters are using. You see everybody talk about this microphone. You see everybody use this microphone. This microphone looks good on camera. So most podcasters are going to be using this microphone here. So this microphone runs you about $400. It's expensive, but again, it's high quality sound. Most cases, this microphone also need an assistant booster. That's a cloud lifter. So you're going to need a cloud lifter with this microphone just to boost it up a little bit, because sometimes the sound is not as, like, it doesn't really get you there. Okay. So then the next part of the audio now that a producer is going to need is what is over here. This device over here. Okay. So this device right here is the Rodecaster Pro. That's where all of the audio are coming into. With this microphone and that audio there, if you was doing a podcast that didn't involve video, that's all the equipment you're really going to need, because this Rodecaster Pro makes it easy. This is the first one. They have newer ones. They have a newer version. This is the one. They have a 2 that just came out. So this here have buttons, have different pads on here. See, as I hit it, I got music saved in here. You got different sounds. Right? You can bring in a cell phone call. You can bring in Bluetooth. Somebody can connect and call you on a live show. All of those things there is embedded within this device right here. And this, again, it is the Rodecaster Pro. When it comes to microphone, you have this Rodecaster, this Rode Pi mic. So this Rode Pi mic is a good option as well. You see that? Rode Pi mic. This Pi mic here adds a lot of value because it's only about $99, right? So for $99, you can have good quality audio and it looks good too. This one usually comes with this little foam thing, but I usually take it off because it looks better without it. It's all about quality. And then I got this, like, this is actually for like a bass drum. I just went to like Guitar Center or something to get this bass. It's a hard metal piece. True story. I tried to travel one time to do a podcast. I was traveling and I took all of this and put it onto the plane. My suitcase was so heavy. The guy went and threw the suitcase and the microphone flew out of it. Another device you can use that's on the go. Let's say if you're on the go, right, doing interview styles, you can use this Zoom. Okay, so this Zoom device here, this is a Zoom 5. All right, so this here is the Zoom 5. You can use this device as well, and that your microphone will plug into here, and you can just do it on the go. Okay, so that's how you would do audio on the go as well if you were producing a show and you didn't have your Rodecaster Pro with you. Okay, so now that's audio. The next thing now, in 2023, you're going to need video. Video is a key part of podcasts these days because you need the video to distribute and get in front of more people, right? And the key number one thing to video is going to be the camera. What cameras are you going to use? If it's a one-person podcast, sometimes you can get away with one camera. If it's a two-person podcast, a guest and a host, you are going to need 2 cameras for the minimum, right? And those cameras there could be anything. So over here, I got a basic Canon camera that you can use. The key thing with cameras that you need to know as a producer is that it needs to be a clean HDMI out. If there's a clean HDMI out, that means you're not going to have all of the information that's coming from your camera. You know, when you turn your camera on, you see all the menus. You're not going to see that on your screen or your recording because you're going to need to plug in your HDMI out, and then you're going to plug it into the next device we're going to talk about, which is going to be your A10 Mini. Okay, so you got your camera. The camera that I'm using to record this video, which is my main camera in most cases, is going to be the Sony A7 III. The Sony A7 III. And of course, with every camera, the key here is going to be the lenses. There's different lenses you can get. The lens that I have on there right now happens to be the 28 to 70 millimeters. Okay, so this one in my hand is a 85 millimeter prime. Then this is my big boy right here. This baby right here is my 70 to 180. This lens here I can capture from anywhere. This is my favorite lens. Cost me about $1,000+ for this lens here. All right, so with all those equipments now, you have your audio, you have your video. So the key part now with video that is going to make it easy for you as the producer of the show with editing and switching and everything is going to be this switcher right here. So this switcher happens to be the A10 Mini. So what this switcher is In the back of it, there's a bunch of HDMI cords. To be exact, 4 HDMI ports on this model here. So these 4 HDMI ports allow you to bring in 4 cameras or 2 cameras and something else, maybe another computer, right? If you're doing a presentation style type podcast, or you're doing a live stream and you need to bring in a Apple TV or something. But no matter what, you're able to bring in 4 HDMI devices into here. And the best part about it, those devices come in on the screen. You'll be able to see them at the same time because you have an HDMI out. So from the HDMI out here, you can see if you look at my screen here, all right? So right now, if you look at my screen up here, I have window 1, window 2, 3, 4. So those are my cameras that I see. So me as the producer now sitting down in front of my desk producing the show, I'm able to see every angle that my guest is on. And then all I have to do is come to this button, camera 1, I switch it, camera 2, I switch it, camera 3, and so on. As I select, I cut, select and cut. So this device here is making me to edit on the fly, so that when I actually go back into whatever editing device, you don't have to do that much work. Maybe you just cut in some of the extra stuff that don't belong, but all of the switching is happening live. That's why you're the producer. You're making big money to be able to understand what angle is going to be pleasing for the viewer. So it's important to understand how this device works. And it might have a lot of buttons here, but this device is not that confusing. Those buttons are just repetitive, all right? Just like any mixer board, if you're familiar with that, this thing here is just repeating sections. So you're able to bring in external microphones. You're bringing your Ethernet cord if you're doing live stream. This A10 Mini Pro is a device that every podcaster has in the background. Everybody that's doing a video podcast, I guarantee you they have a switcher of some sort in the back of it. All right, so understand this one here I use for this type of setup. They also have different models. There's the ISO version. So the ISO version allow you to record on the go. That means every angle that's in here on this 4 HDMI cord will have individuals recording clips, okay? But this one here doesn't allow that. There's also other versions that their screen version allow you to bring in 8 cameras, okay? So 8 HDMI ports. I use those at the church. So when I install this system in churches for like the live stream, we use the Extreme because you can bring in 8 cameras. Most cases for like church and event spaces, they need those type of cameras there. So you being a producer now understanding how many cameras people are going to use, not even just producing for a podcast. You can see like I've used this on a case by case by installing live stream system in churches. So if you're a church and you're watching this and you're looking to see how you can install live stream systems, or maybe you can just build a studio in the back, stuff like that. This is what we do for churches like that. So let me know, send me a message down below. I'll leave the information. Let's connect and see that how we can help you either start your podcast, install the system somewhere so you are able to go live whenever you want. We're able to break down all of the equipments and walk you through either training you or training another team member so you're able to really, really focus on creating the content. All right, so that's audio, that's video. All of these things plugged into the switcher. The audio is coming from the broadcaster. This is all plugged into my computer. Of course, you're gonna need a computer, right? Because like the computer is exactly what's making you see these things. So you're gonna need a computer. You're gonna also need some type of external monitor. That's the monitor I have here. You know, you can see on this monitor here, I can see my live view. I can also see my program view. All right. So this is what the camera is going to see. This is what the people see. Okay. So the next thing is going to be lighting. No matter what, you want your character, you want your artist, you want people to be seen, right? So we talked about audio, we talked about video. Now for lighting, there's key things. What you need to understand, there's a key light. That's the main light that's focusing on your host or your guest. Me, I got a light right here. It's literally right here. Boom. You can't even see it right now, but it's right here. You feel me? You want to get that light as close as you can, and don't make so that it's not so harsh and like burning out the quality of the video. Okay. So your light needs to be about 45 degrees from your camera, whatever camera you're focusing on, right? that light needs to be about 45 degrees from that. That's your main light. And you have some backlighting. Okay, so and I have another light over there, or this light right here. This is a ring light. It's really not playing as a backlight right now. This light really should be off. So if that light was off, my backlighting right now happens to be this blue light. You can call that backlight. You can call it accent light. So there's different lighting that just brings the scene together so that it's not so, so plain with just front lighting. So that's what this color light plays. There's also color lights you've seen at the beginning of this video and all of that. So those are your lighting there, okay? And placing the light in the right place at the right setting, the right temperature is really going to make your art, your artists stand out. So we're able to hear them, see them. All right. So now you have everything that you need to produce a live podcast, all the equipments and everything, right? But now you got your show done. You have this awesome production work. How do you get it in front of the people? How do you get it distributed so they're able to listen, right? And what it's going to take is a host platform. And the host platform that I use and recommend to all of my clients is going to be Buzzsprout. That's the one I'm familiar with. So this is Buzzsprout right here. You can see Buzzsprout. You can see pricing right now. You got a free 2 hours. So you can start right now, record 2 episodes and get it distributed and hosted by them, right? Or you got 3 hours a month to go ahead and do $12 a month. $12 a month. So whatever schedule you're on, or maybe you can do 18 hours based on how your frequency of dropping your episodes are. You want to know what platform you want to pick. But Buzzsprout is easy because you're just going to log on. This here, it is my podcast right here. That is not so consistent because I'm helping other people put their podcasts out. But Monetize with Erastus, you can go ahead and just add a new episode. Yep. So Buzzsprout is going to be the company that I would recommend to host your podcast. So I hope you found value to this video. And if you did, let me know in the comments, man, what was your key takeaway? You are now equipped to help somebody else get their voice out there. You can either do it for yourself or you can start producing podcasts now and start making you a nice side income. You got all of the equipment as far as audio, video, lighting, and we even talk about the host. I hope you found value to this. And if you did, don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. We got tons of information coming at you on this channel. Until next time, I'll be out of here and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.